We are meeting here the new president of the Club of Rome. How do you want to make a difference that matter? And do you already have a program, or did it come to you as a surprise?
In the first place, I think our election into these positions of being co-president is itself an indication of the Club of Rome on its 50th birthday, realizing that the world is changed. And this world needs a complex approach, a selective approach to issues. And women have not been very highly visible in the leadership of the Club of Rome, and this is a statement by the club and its members that we want a new approach. And the two of us are not just women, but we are women of two different generations and from two different continents, women who are willing and able to collaborate and model what interdependence, interconnectedness is about, which is what the world needs in the 21st century, particularly the world which is facing so many complex problems relating to how we have abused our biosphere.
I couldn't agree more with what Mamphela has said. To come back to your question around the program, no, we actually were both elected through a very thorough democratic process, so we did not expect to actually necessarily become co-presidents. We were asked if we could work together, and we immediately agreed that there was absolutely no problem in working together. As Mamphela indicates, this is a symbol of where we would like to bring the Club of Rome, to build on the incredible history and the underpinnings of the Club of Rome coming from Aurelio Pace and the fact that we're here in Rome celebrating the 50th anniversary, to look at all the incredible good and wonderful messaging that the club has been able to bring forward about the need for systems change, and to bring that further now and look at what does that mean in practice now in the 21st century when we are confronted with absolute limits to growth, when we're confronted with a full world of overpopulation, which now means that we have a crisis around climate because the underpinnings of our systems have been totally dysfunctional. And as Mamphela says, we have to respond now to the complexity of the challenges that we have in front of us. And we believe that also with the executive team that will be empowered to work with us, we can hopefully serve the values of the club and continue to build membership and empower the members to work together as a network to make a difference as we move into this new century.
Perfect. I just heard in the plenary that we should support the civil society because they can pressure maybe politics. What do you think? Who should save the planet? The women? The civil society? The scientists?
Everyone.
All of us.
All of us.
This is not a question of who's better placed. We all have a responsibility to pitch in and help Mother Earth to regenerate herself so she can continue to sustain us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the issue is not necessarily the overpopulation, but it is also patterns of consumption.
Mm-hmm.
We have become a greedy, limitless greed kind of society, and what we need to do is to learn to live within those planetary limits, and also learn that the most important tool we have as humanity is our interconnectedness, our interdependence, and the fact that if we live by the laws of nature, but whatever I do, I need to ask the question, is this going to help with the regeneration process? If the answer is no, it shouldn't be done. And if all of us take that view, then we will all be our brothers and sisters keepers, but importantly, keepers of the next generations.
I think to build on that, we've talked a lot also about our sense of responsibility. And exactly as Mamphela has said, we all have to be responsible in order to move forward. But I think in a world as well where we are seeing that the rule of law is continuously being broken down, that we have more fake facts rather than truth, that we have a breeding of hate rather than love, that we have an individualism that is growing when we actually need collective action. That the Club of Rome that stands by understanding where the limits to growth are, but also realizing that actually as a club of enlightened leaders, we can work together in order to bring back some of that truth, to bring back some of that moral responsibility, and to indicate also that those of us that are in the West have a responsibility for all of those in the West that are vulnerable and all of those outside of the West that are vulnerable. And those of us who are in the South have the responsibility for all in the South that are vulnerable as well as outside. Because there are vulnerable people in every single society across the globe. In the United States, there are growing poor, there are growing homeless, and we need to be as responsible for them as we do for those that are climate migrants who are coming over from Africa and Asia, because they will considerably be more, and we will see that we will have an absolute crisis of migration upon us. So I think we should end it there.
Just one more?
And thank you. No, I'm sorry. We have to go.
Okay.